the bridge between enterprises and the $256 trillion worth of real-world assets. Greg Howe is the founder and CEO of Ohanae, and this is the Ohanae Asset Tokenization Platform. The tracking of stock ownership on blockchain is part of a larger movement worldwide to transfer all kinds of records onto blockchain. Corporations may issue shares and maintain its stock ledger on blockchain through smart contract without the need for corporate secretaries or transfer agents. The equity token offering combines unique aspects of consumer token offerings, venture capital, and initial public offerings. Equity tokens are classified as securities in most jurisdictions and will allow investors to become part owners of the company with or without voting rights. The ability to issue equity tokens allows companies to raise funds and unlock capital in a crowdfunding mechanism for everyday investors in a compliant manner. Unlike the ICO, the equity token offering does not require the company's token to have any utility, and it is conducted in compliance with existing securities regulations. The Jumpstarter Business Startups Act, or JOBS Act, helps to solve funding problems that private companies typically encounter by giving them access to a completely new source of funds. Most recently, the Securities and Exchange Commission issued final rules allowing public companies to use Regulation A. This is good news, as public companies will now have access to less expensive capital. We expect to see many more Reg A+ offerings qualified along with increased liquidity through the expansion of alternative trading systems in the marketplace. Typically, the total time from kickoff to token issuance is 2 to 6 months. Working with Ohanae, companies will follow a 3-step process for setting up, executing, and managing their ETO. Ohanae is an asset tokenization platform for enterprises to tokenize real-world assets. Ohanae manages the processing of investors from login to capital received, as well as the token issuance and tracking of stock ownership on blockchain throughout the lifetime of the asset. The Ohanae Asset Tokenization Platform implements Ethereum in a way that is optimized for enterprise and asset tokenization. The Ohanae TrustChain architecture stack defines the building blocks needed to drive the next generation of enterprise Ethereum applications that, like the internet, will work anywhere and is capable of facilitating smart contracts without intermediaries. There is no server or software to buy or manage. You focus solely on building smart contracts that include built-in stablecoins for payments, file security, document tracking, identity, and access management based on self-sovereign principles. The Ohanae Regulation-Aware Protocol is a regulatory-compliant suite of smart contracts built on the Ohanae TrustChain. This platform provides secure, fault-tolerant, transparent, and fast transaction settlement while being compliant to regulatory requirements. RAP provides methods for issuance of equity tokens, which can be customized to represent various types of securities. The equity tokens are ERC-20 compliant and compliant with the Delaware Journal Corporate Law, Title 8. For an equity token to be tradable, it first has to be defined, then created and constrained within a set of regulatory rules to be compliant with trading laws for the parties involved, such as investors, broker-dealers, and custodians. We must be mindful of the different regulations participants must follow, such as KYC or AML, and accredited investor verification by utilizing smart contracts to check and respond to the permissions of every person who attempts to use them in a transaction. If a user who does not meet the proper compliance level attempts to buy a token, the relevant smart contract will compare their permission level against an internal database and instantly restrict their account from completing the purchase. Passwords are not going away anytime soon. Currently, users maintain their online identity with a simple username and password, and enterprises maintain a directory as their primary identity. Go beyond simple identity protection. Ohanae addresses this issue with complex password creation and usage because without strong passwords, there is no protection. Ohanae ensures passwords are not stored in the cloud or on your device. They are generated only at the time of use for armor shield protection. We can think of self-sovereign identity as a digital record of identity information that you control. You can reveal some or all of it. You can also record your consent to share data with others and facilitate that sharing. Claims about you in identity transactions can be self-asserted or asserted by a third party whose authenticity can be independently verified by a relying party. Ohanae empowers users to share files securely with anyone through consistent sharing apps across all popular mobile and desktop platforms. You may share files securely via any app such as email and WhatsApp and access the shared files from any device installed with the Ohanae app. You can also create, share, and keep files securely in content collaboration services such as Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, and OneDrive while permitting a familiar access from any device. For enterprise deployment, Ohanae provides fully auditable, compliant, and trustworthy audit trails designed to detect and respond to cybersecurity events that could materially harm the non-public information of an organization. Ohanae is introducing 2 cryptographic tokens named Ohanae Token, a stablecoin, and TrustChain credits. The cost to use the TrustChain network is based on usage, independent of the Ohanae token exchange rate. To use the TrustChain protocol, Ohanae tokens must be converted to TrustChain credits. TrustChain credits are then used to make entries into the TrustChain protocol. Once an Ohanae token is used, the right is gone. The right to write into the TrustChain protocol is generated by validators running it, and this right is ended by those using the protocol. The idea is to align incentives so that validators that run the protocol are rewarded if and only if the protocol is valuable. Trust is our #1 value. Thank you for your time.